So right now I'm listening to The Force Awakens soundtrack on vinyl, so there's the cover of it. But yeah, in case you didn't know, it has these really cool 3D laser hologram things. So I thought I'd show you that. It's pretty cool. I have to have the light on my phone to show it, but yeah, pretty neat. Alright guys, so I've decided that I'm going to show off my NECA collection in today's vlog, so just going to go through all of them one at a time. Don't have a huge collection, but I mean, I still have a lot of cool figures, I think. So this is one of the two first ones I got. This is the Predator variant that came in the loot crate. It's a really cool variant, but at the same time I feel like it's kind of difficult to really appreciate the sculpt on it, but still really cool. This one came with one accessory, and that was the shoulder gun that comes with him. But I think that was actually Thomas. I think that was the one thing that I broke while I was moving was his shoulder gun. Yeah, still really cool figure here. And then right here is a more standard looking Predator based on the original Predator. So yeah, here is a full color shoulder gun accessory. I've opted to not put any accessories other than, you know, if you count his interchangeable head and hands. But yeah, mainly because I'm kind of worried I'll break this. And NECA is also known to kind of throw in a lot of accessories that you can't really get them to hold, which is the case with this one. But yeah, I think it'd be really cool if I could get him to hold this skull with the vertebrae attached to it. And also has a regular skull they can kind of get him to hold, kind of. For a shoulder gun, he also has a blast effect you can use. And you know, he's got gripping hand, not that he really has any accessories he can grip, and then he has another thumbs up hand that, yeah, like I said, he can kind of stick the skull on that thumb for that one. Then he also has a unmasked head, which looks pretty cool, but I tend to prefer the masked head. And if you want just the mask, there you go. One moment, Thomas is being kind of attention demanding right now. Anyway, as I was saying, feel like in the later Predator movies, they kind of made the mask look a little bit more extravagant, fancier, cooler. And they do look pretty cool, but I don't know. I mean, there's just something about that smooth, simple, classic look of the original mask that I really like. You know, I mean, it's not like they're trying to make it look overly cool. I mean, they just kind of feel like the Predator as a whole was a cool, you know, so why not put too much work into the mask, you know. Yeah, I really like the Predator in the first movie. That's probably my favorite Predator, although I think my favorite movie overall was actually Predator 2. Next up, we have Sam from Trick or Treat. One thing that I do want to point out with how I display my figures in regards to like head swaps, accessories, etc., is that I go more for just cool and fun more than trying to be scene accurate to anything. Sorry, Thomas is being really playful right now. But yeah, anyway, I really like this head with the mouth cut open. As you can see, I got his classic lollipop. Then I got him dragging a bag of candy. You can't really get him to hold it, but you can just kind of get to sit beside him with one of his hands holding it. Haven't really tried getting him to hold it yet, but I do like to have this candy knife just kind of sitting beside him. Really, I wouldn't mind having a bunch of miniature candies to just kind of display with the figure, but he doesn't come with any. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some mini candies out there that not necessarily made by NEC or meant for Sam, but they'd just look cool next to him if I found any. He has a bunch of alternate heads. He has this unmasked head, another unmasked head from when he got shot, and he had the pumpkin stuff oozing out of him. And of course, you just have a standard classic head, but I kind of prefer the one with the mouth cut open. And he's got one hand that you can actually swap out with him, and then he also has a severed hand here. Then just as sort of background accessories, we have a regular jack-o'-lantern, and then this one's really cool. We have a burning jack-o'-lantern that actually lights up, so that's really cool. Something funny about that movie is like there's jack-o'-lanterns all over the place in that movie, but they're like all fake jack-o'-lanterns. I think they're made out of like styrofoam and ceramic, but yeah, because of that, and there's a lot of pumpkins getting destroyed, there's a joke on the set about how no pumpkins are harmed in the making of the movie. Just to show you what I'm dealing with, Thomas has been standing like right next to me while I'm trying to record, and he just kind of keeps on jumping up, trying to like remind me that he's here. I think that he's kind of confused while I'm talking to the wall there and trying to like get my attention that he's right there, not on the wall. Funny little cat. But he's sleeping in his box now, so maybe he'll relax more. I doubt that. Next up, I have Gizmo, another pretty cool one. He does have very limited articulation. I think to kind of make up for that, along with his size, he has this weird feature where like you can take his face off and switch the angle of his eyes. I'm not a big fan of that though, just because of how difficult it is to get it just right. I'd rather have still eyes than have the articulated eyes. Can't really hold any of his accessories, so I just kind of have them leaning up against his hands to kind of make it look like he's holding them. But yeah, still really cool. He has a bunch of different face swaps, so I have the kind of Rambo look with the bow and arrow. Yeah, bunch of different face swaps you can give him. Then I also got all of his candy cane, trumpet, and a Santa hat right here, so another cool one. Next up, we got the Terminator T-800. Good old Arnie. So, of course, I really like the battle damage hat and this big gun. I'm not a gun expert, so don't really expect me to know anything about it. I think that's a Gatling gun, I think is what that's called, but I don't really know much about that sort of stuff. Yeah, we got a standard Arnie head there, and we got a head with sunglasses on. And as you can imagine, we got a bunch more guns. So we got this gun. I got a little handgun. Then we got this gun right here. Then here we got Freddy Krueger. This one's based on Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. As you can see, I have this torso swap for the torn shirt with all the souls coming out of his body. Looks really gross and creepy. Of course, the fedora you can also take off, but here's his normal chest. Then he also has this head swap. Then I really like these syringe finger hands. That's one of my favorite scenes from the movie. But I opted to go with the more classic Freddy glove. Then he also comes with this house model. and a mini Freddy figure. So, cool. Next up, we have Jason Voorhees. This one is based on part 4 of the final chapter. In terms of the Jasons that are commonly available, I think this one might be my favorite as far as like the look and accessories go. Not necessarily my personal favorite movie though, and not necessarily my personal favorite looking Jason overall. Again, not really my favorite movie, but probably my favorite look for Jason was in The New Blood. But yeah, in terms of just what's commonly available, this one's probably my personal favorite. This was a gift for me from Magnot Mog, so really appreciate that. Have him holding his meat cleaver here from one of my favorite kills in the movie, where first the kid was looking for the corkscrew and he stabs him in the hand with the corkscrew, and then gives him a meat cleaver to the face. I really wish it was possible to get him to hold this corkscrew with the meat cleaver too, but like I said, they tend to put in a lot of accessories that are kind of hard to use. He does have a alternate hand sculpt. This is slightly wider grip for his right hand, so kind of wish you could swap out this hand though, so you can put something in it. But yeah, he does have a alternate head sculpt. Let me pull the mask off. I think you can remove the mask on both of these, but not a whole lot of difference between both of them. But yeah, so there's his gross face, and he has a notch cut out so you can put the machete in his face. Fun fact, he actually never used a machete in that movie, but machete is what brought the final blow to Jason, and that also has a saw and an axe. Had a knife somewhere. Let me see if I dropped that. Okay, here's his knife. And of course, as a background accessory, you got this Pamela Voorhees headstone. So, cool Jason figure of my favorite horror character. Then we have Ash from the Evil Dead. This is actually the first non-Godzilla figure that I specifically bought. The main reason I got it actually was there was going to be a Sam Raimi, who was the director, signing, and I thought this would be a cool item to get signed on the packaging, but that signing ended up getting canceled, but I still really like the figure, so here he is. He has a bunch of different head sculpts. All of them look kind of silly, but he makes a lot of funny faces. This is just the one that I kind of like the most, but got that one there, and that one there. And then also has a Kandarian dagger. I really wish I could get him to hold this one, but oh well. I mean, their accessories look cool. It's just some of them are hard to get them to hold. And then he also has the Necronomicon, which is really cool because you can even open it up. How cool is that? I wouldn't recommend reading it though. Of course, he has his chainsaw attached to him. I kind of wish he had a hand swap for the chainsaw, even though I'd have him with the chainsaw anyway, of course. And then if you wanted him to have the gun but not holding it, he does have the holster on the back. So yeah, I love the Evil Dead. Now we're getting into some really cool, fun stuff. The rest is going to be my Godzilla collection, which is what I started out mainly focusing on. So there are a few Godzillas that I've missed that I don't think I'll be able to get, but other than that, I think I'm kind of done collecting Godzilla NECAs, though. I mean, they've been releasing a bunch of them. I just don't really feel like they're different enough to merit me spending money on getting them, you know. But either way, here's the original 1954 Godzilla. I do have to say the tails on these are a little bit hard to work with. I imagine at least one of them is going to pop off while I'm showing it, but here it is. I like how they made it look kind of droopy like a bodysuit, since that's what it was. Yeah, the first Godzilla looked kind of cool in its own way, but at the same time, it is a bit aged, but that's what I like about that figure, is they didn't try to, like, you know, make it look cooler than it is. You know, it's kind of goofy looking, and that's why I like it. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and show off these two at the same time, since they have basically the same sculpt, just different paint jobs on them. So first off, we got the burning Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. One of his most iconic looks, the burning Godzilla. I wish I could have got the burning Godzilla from Godzilla King of the Monsters. Even the normal Godzilla from that movie would have been cool to get, but I missed out on those. Haven't seen them in stores. I don't think I will see them in stores, because I think they discontinued them and lost the license for the at least the American Godzilla movies. I've noticed they're still making Godzillas for the Japanese Toho movies, but then we have a glow-in-the-dark variant that came in a loot crate. This isn't movie accurate to anything, but I don't care. I just think it looks really cool, you know? And speaking of American Godzilla, here's Godzilla from the first American Godzilla. One of my favorite, or not first American Godzilla technically, but first of the current series of American Godzilla movies, I should say. Yeah, I don't think I'll get a Godzilla for the first American Godzilla movie, but either way, this is actually one of my favorite looks for Godzilla. I like how aquatic and mountainous he looks. I mean, you know, I kind of like how, you know, if you turn him on his side like this, you can definitely imagine him just swimming along, looking sort of like a crocodile. So really cool, because you always see Godzilla in the water, but he looks kind of awkward in the water, honestly. But this one, I mean, he just looks like he's made to be in the water, you know, so really like this Godzilla look. And lastly, we have Shin Godzilla. Even though it's one of the newer Godzilla movies, I feel like there's kind of a rule against the newest movie in a series being the best one. But honestly, it's probably my favorite Godzilla movie, but a lot of people will just try to seem to see it differently than I do. I feel like they complain a lot about the human characters, but I kind of like how there's not a main human character in there. Kind of feel like, if anything, Godzilla is really the main character in there. But yeah, in terms of the look of Godzilla, he just looks terrifying to me. It is somewhat of an awkward look because of like how huge the tail is in comparison to the rest of the body. It's really hard to pose the tail without it just falling off, but at the same time, I kind of feel like that's sort of how it's meant to be. I mean, a lot of people also criticize the scene where he, like, first comes onto land. He changes form in this movie. A lot of people make fun of the first full-bodied form that he makes. But at the same time, I kind of feel like he should look a little bit alien. I mean, that just kind of makes him seem more abnormal to me. But yeah, this Godzilla just looks terrifying to me. I mean, I like how his mouth kind of looks like it's just sort of like a cut in his head with teeth coming out of it more than a proper mouth. I know they have an alternate version of this figure that has like a head swab for him breathing fire, which all opened up and just looks really weird. But yeah, I love Shin Godzilla. There's a pretty cool look for Godzilla, not necessarily my favorite, still really cool, creepy look. But yeah, that is all my NECA figures, so this will probably be a long vlog. I think my Christopher Lloyd V-Shout item just came back, so I'll check the mail now. Alright guys, so just got back from checking the mail, and look what arrived from Zobi/V-Shout, so I'll play the V-Shout clip.
Hey, Clayton.
As you can see, that was from Christopher Lloyd. In my opinion, probably the most legendary actor that they'll have on V-Shout. Certainly the most legendary one that I've got, at least. Pretty surprised they're able to get all that lined up. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if they did like a normal signing with him, but I mean, getting a V shout with him, I thought that was really cool. And they did have an option to get it without the V shout at a lower price, which I think is the first time that they've done that. But I opted to get the V shout just because I think it's cool to get those videos. So let's get it open. Like I said before, I have like 5 more on order that I'm waiting on. This is a item I personally mailed in. Not very often I have an opportunity to do that, but I have a bunch of items that would have worked well for a signing with Christopher Lloyd. So let's get this one open. I also have a V-shot on order from, can't remember the actress's name, but Jennifer from the first Back to the Future movie. I have a V-shot order from her too. Kind of wish I had thought of sending this in to get signed for her, but I just got a print instead. But yeah, I got this license plate signed by Christopher Lloyd, and it's JSA authenticated right there. Let me get the COA. So yeah, really cool. Yeah, I opted to get this signed just because, you know, I mean, it's a cool item to get signed on some. It's also a good opportunity to add some other signatures too. I mean, there's not a whole lot of room. These letters are raised, but I mean, I could sneak one here or there, maybe a little bit above it. So I could get maybe 3 more signatures on it. But yeah, Michael J. Fox is definitely one I'd like to be able to add to it. But yeah, really cool mail-in and autograph to get, you know, so really excited about that. It's not very often that I have items that I can mail in for these just because of the type of things I collect. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like there's a lot of opportunity for all those Back to the Future actors. So really excited to add this one to my collection.